Chapter 2. Pete's Sluverlands. Fred ran out the house to the woods. The wood was enormous and the trees were tall, thin and were swaying hard. He went in. As he went in, he walked straight into a tree. A few birds flew away after this. He walked away, although he was very dizzy. He found the floor and lay there. He flew into the air and landed back on his feet and wasn't dizzy anymore. He walked through the damp and squelchy leaves, but before he could sleep, he found a stick. This wasn't any ordinary stick. It was a stick he only saw a glimpse of when the cat was flying in the air. It was slick and shiny, it had a defined shape and looked like a stick with the twigs cut off and chocolate poured over it. He picked it up and flicked it. Suddenly, right after he flicked it, some branches fell off a tree and landed with a thud on the floor. Fred was amazed and decided to keep it, hidden in his pocket underneath his jacket. He walked a bit more and saw a little hut. With no one in sight, he ran into the hut. He had a stick out in case someone was there. There was no one. Fred put the stick back in his pocket and looked around the beautiful hut. From the outside, it looked as though it was built in medieval times and had been sloshed with white, dried-up paint. But from the inside was a different story. Inside was shelves and shelves of books about the past. The walls were silk, white and red. The floor was wood with red and orange carpets on the top of the floor. The windows looked completely different from the outside than the inside. The windows were so clean that Fred thought they were cleaned every hour. But from the outside it looked so dirty that it just looked like there was no window. The only way Fred knew it was a window is because there was a slight clean part in the middle of the white and brown. Fred read the book World War One. He found it absolutely fascinating. After reading a number of books, including This World and What Lies Beyond the Galaxy, he went to open the door and opened it. Behind the door was a person that perfectly fitted the description Mrs. Buzzard gave him. "Hello, fellow person," he said nicely. "Can you tell me why you're in my hut?" I had nowhere to go, and I found this place." Fred quivered with every word he said. "Okay, but who are you?" the person said. "Oh, I'm Fred Willems, and what's your name?" Fred said much more confidently than last time. "I'm Pete Sluverlands." Pete took his hood down. "So you're the one that made the cat fly in the air and made the tree fly around?" He had a concerned look on his face and said, "I did the tree, but I don't know who did the cat. Can you show me a spell that you can do?" "Okay," Pete said. Fred was more excited than ever. At first he was very frightened, but now he was so excited. "Okay," he said in a cunning voice, "let's do this one. Movie up." Then a shot of purple light shot out of the stick that looked very similar to the one Fred had. A brick from the house moved out of the house. Pete could control the brick and move it wherever he wanted. He finally put it back in the house with a perfect fit. Fred took the stick he had and did the same thing. Movie up. A purple light struck a tree and made it fall over instead. Pete was shocked. "Where did you find that?" he said. "On the ground a few minutes walk back." "What's so wrong?" Fred said. "Oh, nothing really," he said. Fred and Pete walked through the woods and chatted all the way. When they got to the darkest part of the woods, Pete said to Fred, "Keep your wands out. There's lots of dangerous animals here." "They killed wands?" Fred asked Pete. "Yep." Before they went in, a spider 4 times bigger than Fred jumped out and started attacking them. "Knock some," Pete shouted, and a burst of red light shot onto the spider. "Thanks," Fred said desperately. "You're welcome," Pete said in a breathy voice. Fred now knew 2 spells, Movie Up and Knock Some. He tried Knock Some, but all that happened was he knocked back to another spider, which Pete threw back with Movie Up. Pete got a good idea. "Hey Fred, let me tell you something. I've got a book about spells. Here you go, you can start learning spells and how to do them. Good?" Fred was so happy that, without thinking, Kiss Pete whipped made him blush. "So, to do Movie Up, you swing your wand down and shout Movie Up. Then you look straight at the thing you want to lift, and then you're done." "Okay, gonna try that." Fred did what it said, and a leaf cut off the tree and flew wherever he wanted. "This is so cool," Fred was saying as he was reading how to drop the leaf. "It says you have to swing your wand as hard as you can in any direction, and it will go that way. Okay, let's try it." He had a few attempts, and then the leaf fell back on the floor. Wow, Fred was unsure if this was a dream or not, so he pinched himself. It wasn't a dream. Just then, a live tree destroyed a bunch of the forest and knocked Fred and Pete backwards. "Sword and TARDIS," Pete screamed as the jolt of moonlight shot from his wand. He swung his wand around ferociously, and the tree was cut into smithereens as though Sword and Tidus was a sword, which is totally possible. Fred didn't know what to say, but Pete did. Sword and Tidus isn't in the Beginner's Guide to Wizardry, which is a book that Fred is reading. It's in the Advanced Book of Skills. Fred skimmed through the Beginner's Guide to Wizardry until he found Noxum. Get your wand, point it at the thing you want to knock out, and then tug your wand forwards and say Noxum, and your enemy will become knocked out for several hours. Sounds good? Fred read aloud. On the same page there was a spell Food Appear and Food Disper, which Fred didn't see, and he shut the spell book. When they got out the dark section of the forest, Fred asked what spell he was using to light up the forest. Pete didn't tell him. Ah, here they are, Pete said happily. Broomsticks. Broomsticks? Pete questioned Fred. Oh, you don't know about broomsticks, Pete said. Fred gave a stern look. Okay. They're wooden branches cut off a tree and made into wandwood. Then we cut off the twigs and it becomes these. Fascinating, right? Yep, Fred said, happier than he was earlier. Pete and Fred jumped onto the broomsticks and flew away. Fred had trouble going up at first, but after Pete had told him how to ride it, he quickly got the hang of it. This is amazing, Pete was saying as an enormous spider walked near his house. Noxum, Fred shouted, and a bolt of red light came out of his wand and landed on the spider. The spider was knocked out. Ooh, I knocked out a spider, Fred told Pete. Very well done, Fred, Pete told him. Both of them flew over the English Channel, over to France and over to Spain, where his mum and dad were. Fred was really happy to see them. His parents were even more happier. Fred, his mum said tearfully. Fred, his dad said tearfully as well. We're so happy you're okay, his mum said, hugging and kissing him all over. So was his dad. We're so sorry we left you behind, and I'll promise to never do it again, his mum said. Anyway, how did you get here? His dad asked Fred. Oh, by broomstick, Fred said in a way that made you think he was a fashion model. Aw, Max, wait, you travelled by broomstick? Yep, with my new friend Pete. His mum and dad fainted. Oh, yeah, some people faint after they see wizards, but anyone can become a wizard with about 8 years of practice. Pete told Fred. Okay, Fred started. Where's my sister? Here, said a happy and light-hearted voice. Oliver, Fred said while running to his sister. Fred, said Oliver while running to his brother. They hugged each other and went back to bed. It's 8:32, said Oliver. Yeah, let's go to sleep, Fred said, yawning, and they both went to bed.